We live. Good evening. What's the word? What's the word? Welcome to What's the Word? Your boy Dyckman Drew.
Bobby, aka fuck out of here. What's the word? Big Bird. What's good, big bro? How you doing?
I'm good. How you? Everything good, brother?
Everything level, man. Everything level. I can't complain. Everything good on this side. Everybody healthy. How about you?
God bless. I can't complain. My son, 10 months old. He wears a size 48 to 56 months. And everything else is Gucci, my dude.
Amazing, man. God bless that little boy, man.
Yeah.
You got big dream coming ahead.
You already know, bro. So let's talk some. Let's talk something. What you think about last night's game?
Terrible.
Between
terrible, man.
The Lakers.
Terrible. Straight terrible. Miami, hurt or not, they weren't gonna come back and win that game. You got the Lakers shooting the way they shot last night. They could shoot like that the next 3 games. I see a sweep. What you think?
I don't see them shooting like that the way they shot for the next 3 nights, but I definitely see the size difference is taking its toll. The Lakers are too big. Pause. For them Heat kids. Like Bam Adebayo is not bullying nobody on the Lakers. You know what I mean? Like it's not an easy ride. You get past Anthony Davis, you got Dwight Howard. You know what I mean? Like it's just difficult, man. I don't see them winning, but I see them win. I thought it's 6. Now, obviously, if Dragic is hurt, he's their leading scorer. Butler's ankle rolled, Adebayo's shoulders hurt. Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson ain't gonna beat the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? So I see maybe 5, man. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I'm not gonna jump out the window and say sweep. I wouldn't be surprised if we swept them. I want to sweep. I hope we do sweep them, but Miami will be lucky to win 1 game, and I don't even see them doing that, bro.
I agree, man. I agree. Like you got 3 of your starting 5 who average double digits, and they're all hurt, and they're not playing the next game. Let me retract that. I think Butler might be playing, right or no?
I don't know. They don't know yet.
Yeah, Dragic and Dragic and Bam done. I just read it on SportsCenter. They unlikely to play. So when they hit you with the unlikely word, not done for the series, but done for the game 2. So you don't want to go down you don't want to go down 2 games to a team like LA.
No, it's quiet for that.
Let me ask you a quick question, just to switch stay on the same topic, but switch. I want to ask you a question. What do you think about that coaching move from Doc, with Doc Rivers going from LA Clippers to being close to signing that deal with the 76ers? He's really close.
I think Doc Rivers is a good coach. You know what I mean? We saw Doc Rivers win with veterans, right? We saw him win with veterans. We saw him lose with veterans. But I just don't know if his methods work in the West. I could see Doc Rivers winning in the East with the Sixers. But the thing with the Sixers is Ben Simmons can't shoot his way out of a wet paper bag. Like, so like and I had to get, my man Junior that went to Maine, he had to check me on it because I was like, yo, Ben Simmons is gonna be one of the top 5 best players in the NBA in the next 2 years. He was like, yo, Drew, you bugging. He can't shoot. I said he'll develop that. At least a mid-range and free throws, he'll get that. That's light. He don't gotta hit threes. He's a 6'10" point guard. And he don't have to shoot threes. Brother, he can't even shoot like free throws, bro. So like that takes a lot away from him. You already know at the end of the game, he's not an option. Embiid and him, the problem with him and Embiid is Embiid clogs the paint and Ben Simmons can only score from the paint. So for Ben Simmons to get off, that means Embiid got to come out of the paint. He's your best rebounder. But you got to get him out the paint for Ben Simmons to be able to score in the paint because Embiid clogs the middle. He needs that rock. So I think they got to shake up that team, to be totally honest with you, because Ben Simmons and Embiid, that's not it. You can't put a good center with the next best player on your team can't shoot.
Facts.
Because I mean, he has to get to the basket. But if you need the ball in the post, you're going to stay by the basket. That means your defender is by the basket. So he's not going to get to the basket and score the way he would as if the floor was open. But if you want to make Embiid a stretch 5, you're taking away a lot of rebounding. So I don't know, bro. I don't think that Doc Rivers can go over there and they're going to win a championship, because if Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving work out, the East should belong to them until one of them don't play in the Nets anymore.
Well, I don't think. Well, the Clippers, I 100% fully agree with you. I feel that Doc Rivers will shake up the team. I feel like he's a coach that will attract other players to wanting to come over and build that dynasty over in Philadelphia. But like you said, Ben Simmons cannot be the best player. Cannot be the best player until he developed a jump shot. I've always said this. I come from a jump shot, back in the days, I had a jump shot. A lot of other people had jump shots. And I always said to myself, in order to survive in any kind of basketball game you play, I don't care what league, I don't care if it's the NBA, you need a jump shot. And when you're in the NBA and you're 6'8", you're 6'9", you're not that quick to get by people, you need a jump shot. So again, just to agree with you on that, absolutely. I think he needs a jump shot. And I think if he wants to become a leader on that team, referring back to Ben Simmons, he needs to work on his game and get that jump shot.
Yeah, because if he's not shooting, they got to get rid of one of them. They got to get rid of Embiid and get like 2 shooters, or get rid of Ben Simmons and work around Embiid.
So look, I'm gonna hog up another question. I want to throw it out there. I want to change a little. Let's go to Brooklyn real fast, and let's go over to Kyrie's statement or comment earlier. He was interviewed on a podcast where he pretty much mentioned he felt like he was the main guy to take that shot at all times on every team he played. Kind of sounded like he was throwing shots at Braun. But then he finished his statement and said something like, for once, I could actually say, I could do that. I could do that.
What he said was, I can finally say that I'm playing with somebody that can make a shot, like a certain type of shot.
Game winner specifically.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what he was referring to.
Listen, anybody that knows me knows that since Kyrie Irving was in the 9th grade, I was pro Kyrie, bro. In the NBA, Kyrie's a different type of person. Like, his game is amazing. His game is amazing. I love watching him play. He's probably one of the top 5 watch in the NBA to watch, right? But in Cleveland, what they won, like 20, 25 games when he was the man, and he got punched in the face by Dion Waiters. Like
about 20, 23, 25.
He's a different type of teammate. You know what I mean? So if you play with LeBron and you win a chip, how can you have something bad to say about him, bro? Like, I don't agree with it. I just think that he sounds like a salty ex-girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like, and he's taken a lot of shots at Braun over the years. He said a lot of certain like little slick things. I don't get it. You know what I mean? Because he came over here and y'all want a ring. And then now you talking crazy. He sounds crazy to me. Like, Kevin Durant is one of the best basketball players in the galaxy. But
wait, time out. He won that ring, but you don't think it was because of that shot he made? If he don't make that shot, you don't think they're in trouble? That 3 at Golden State?
Did Kyrie contribute to the fucking championship? 100%. Absolutely. That 10 million %. He made the shots he had to make to win. But does he get to the finals, bro? And is he in the position to win an NBA championship without LeBron James? Is he even on that stage?
I guess what I'm trying to say is that as much as he needs LeBron on that team, LeBron needed him. Because I don't think LeBron gets to the final and wins the final without Kyrie.
I agree. Nobody's ever done that shit by themselves. And then to beat who they beat, let's be realistic. You need everybody clicking on all cylinders. They needed Kevin Love to play the part he played, and Kevin Love went over there. He came from Minnesota. He was a 30-20 dude. Like, He went to Cleveland and people forgot about him because his role was minimalized for what he did, for what they needed him to do. It's like Chris Bosh in Toronto. He was a beast. He got to Miami, his numbers were regular. You know what I'm saying? It's different. You know what I mean?
Jokic is the upgrade of Kevin Love.
Nah, Jokic, bro. Jokic
is different. He can move, he can shoot.
Facts.
He's the future, man.
Luka is a different type of basketball player. He's amazing, bro. He's the best European basketball player ever right now.
Yo, he looks slower than a fucking turtle. I don't know how he continues to get by these people with handle. He got that yo-yo.
He's a bucket. He's been playing professional since he was like 7 years old, bro. Like,
yeah.
Forget about it, man. That kid is tough, yo. He's tough. And he grew up playing European basketball where they beat you up. So this NBA shit different for him, bro.
Europe is different, man. You got the Tony Parkers that started when they were 15, 16. I remember when I played over at Stony Brook, we had a coach called Willie. He came from San Francisco, but before that, he was coaching Tony Parker, father's team or some crazy joint in France. And he used to tell me how Tony Parker used to come to the practices at 13 practicing with them. So by 18, he was already playing nationally. He came to the league and did, won rings. And I mean, there's a lot of players like that.
Yeah, that's just different, bro. That's just real different, man. Let me ask you something, though. How do you feel about the kids in college getting paid to play college basketball?
Don't know. No, they shouldn't get paid.
How can you?
My thing is, you're getting a scholarship, bro. Each semester, room and board. You're getting a scholarship. They're giving you an academic scholarship. They're paying for your education. Colleges, these big colleges, universities, the Dukes, the Clemsons, and they're very expensive. We're not talking about SUNYs and CUNYs.
Yeah.
So if you're giving this kid a scholarship that's worth probably over hundreds of thousands of dollars in the next 4 years, and if you want to go get your master's, they pay for that too.
Yeah,
they take care of you academically. Like you can leave with a doctorate.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like. All these college athletes that come out and be like, I had to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich at night. Nah. Get the fuck out of here. Niggas is lying. They lying, Drew. They lying. I had meal plan 4 and I went to a low division 1 Stony Brook school.
Got you.
When we our per diem, every time we travel, we get per diem. Every time.
Yeah.
And per diem was $75 to $100 a game. So if we were on a roll for 5 days and we had 3, we'll get that money every day.
Got you.
And that's not our meal money. They make meals for us. They get it. We eat off the team.
Got you.
So at the end of the day, I was coming home going to Nike Town. Light.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you take the higher conferences like the ACC, Big, all these higher conferences. They get per diem anywhere between 150 and 200 per player, per game, per road day.
Gotcha.
So now you're coming back with hundreds of dollars. So the people that's complaining about, my jersey's out there, I get that, but your name ain't on it. They own that. They came out with material and they put the number in it, and that's their school. They put the Syracuse in front. They put the 15 in the back. You're wearing our jersey. We don't have to give it to you at the end of the year. You're not owned to that. Like if you ask for your jersey after that, and the school says no, then you can't walk off. That's their property. They ain't just because it has your name on it. They may have to take your name off it just to get specific. But yeah, man, that's just my thought. Like I feel like kids are getting their half on an academic scholarship to go play whatever kind of sport they're gonna play. In college, and don't quote me on this. I don't know if every sport is the same, but I could refer back to basketball because I played it, and I know a lot of other friends that played college basketball. That's my thought.
I feel now. Remember what you said. You're getting the opportunity to go to these colleges that cost a lot of money, right? But why are they giving you the scholarship?
to come play for their school.
Hold on. To come play basketball for their school, right? You know why? Because they get millions of dollars from the TV networks for having good teams and being on television. They get millions and millions and millions of dollars. That's the money I believe the players are entitled to. Because if you don't have Kentucky fully loaded, you don't have Louisville, Duke, North Carolina fully loaded. If you don't have nobody exclusive on those teams that's going to help them be possible national champions, they're not getting on television. They're not getting that bag of money. Now, absolutely, they're getting an opportunity to get a free education, but we all know that we're talking about these one and done kids. Like the average NBA basketball player doesn't stay in college 4 years anymore. So if you're a kid that is like top 10 and you're like a lock for the NBA, whatever college you're going to is going to be on television because the world wants to watch you. So now those networks have to cut a check. They got to cut millions of dollars to these schools for them to be on TV to showcase this kid that you're giving that $100,000 scholarship to, and the school is making $25 million off of it.
The NCAA.
The school.
I thought the money go to the NCAA and the school gets a percentage.
Well, even if it's that percentage that the school gets, those students that put them on television deserve some bread. And I think you'll get more kids that'll be willing to go to school and even stay longer than a year. Because now at least they could throw their moms a couple dollars and she's not tripping and help out. And because a lot of these kids, bro, come from broken homes, bro. So it's like you're gonna take one of these broke kids and put them on TV and make all this money off of this kid for 1 year before he goes to the NBA. He don't deserve some of that bread.
That's the grind.
Yeah, I get it, bro. But let me ask you.
You make some great points. But go ahead, finish.
Let me ask you a question. If you didn't play basketball, how would you have wound up able to pay for a 4-year Stony Brook University room and board tuition?
Financial aid.
And then you would have graduated on like $200,000 for 40 years.
Absolutely, facts, all facts.
So honestly, do you think if you didn't play basketball, you would have went to Stony Brook?
Nah.
You go to a local community college, you get a degree, and then if you want, you go to a university, a SUNY or CUNY, you know what I mean? Just to get a good job. You feel me?
Absolutely. I get what you're saying.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, and you went over there, you were a high recruit. You don't think that your recruitment lit a buzz in America East? You don't think people knew you was going over there?
Absolutely. Marketing. They were marketing me right away. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
that's what they did.
Exactly. And locally, your games were on TV. And you guys traveled and played big schools.
Yep. On TV.
That's my point exactly.
Yeah.
You getting $75 a day while the school is making like $10,000.
Facts.
To be showcased against a high D1 school that's going to win by 1 million. Most of the time when they play the UConns and the Louisvilles, like, come on, son. Like, I just think that. Go ahead.
No, it's crazy. I was gonna throw out the fact that I was gonna ask you, did you know that big schools, the reason why you always see the big schools play at home against, like the non-conference schools, like if you have a Syracuse and a Stony Brook, you're always gonna see Stony Brook at Syracuse, is because these big schools pay the little schools to come play them at their school.
Exactly.
So it's hella money. I get where you're going with it. It's hella money. I absolutely get that part. I get that part. But if they're gonna approach that and try to give these kids money, Come on, they can't be coming out with a Trump plan, my nigga. They gotta come up with a legit plan. You know what I mean? They gotta lead and they gotta have.
My thing is this, kid. When you guys are in high school, you guys are playing basketball for recognition, to win a city championship, to win a state championship, so that you can get an opportunity to play college basketball.
The grind, yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm. To make it up to the next level and get up there, yeah.
These college coaches are watching you guys, and at whatever level they're recruiting you is to make their schools better. And what happens when your school gets better? You get more money. This shit is all a business. You guys are an investment, bro. Y'all an investment. If I can get 4 high ranked kids to go to Stony Brook that could have went to Louisville or one of these big schools, and these kids run through and make a Final Four bid, you know how much money is made, bro? You know how much money is made, bro? Like it's a business. Like they invest in y'all to make their money back. They're making their money back. You know what I'm saying? They're making their money back. Sponsorships, everything, all types of stuff.
That's how they want to go off too. That's the plan that they're considering, you know, through sponsorships and stuff like that. Yo, what's crazy is like, I don't know if you saw that top recruit. He ended up committing to, I think, a low black school during the COVID and all. Yo, if athletes and big time top 5, top 10 high school, wow, that would be amazing. I would love that, man. Then you bring that money to, you know, you even everything out, and the competitiveness, and it's just another level, man. That'd be dope. That'd be dope. He said I think he set his own platform by doing that, and I think he'll lead with that. I think a lot of people will follow that.
I agree. And I think that will be a dope wave, yo. A dope wave, bro. For real. I mean, we got to see what happens. We got to see where it goes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's tough.
It is. I still got the Lakers winning, though.
Yo, let me ask you a question.
I
was thinking about this earlier, and it was a quote from what's his name? He coaches Nebraska now, University of Nebraska. He coached the Bulls. His friend Hoiberg.
Yep.
He came out and said a comment. He was like, when I coached the Bulls, I wasn't telling Caron Butler played. I'm not Caron Butler. It was Jimmy Butler. He played with the Bulls at one point, right?
Yep.
And he got some bread at one moment. And I remember him saying at one moment when he would coach and he would talk out loud and would be giving a speech, and he'll just see these stars just not even paying attention. And he told himself he knew there was a moment where he just had to leave the NBA and come back into college and coach kids, because he asked himself and he said, what the hell am I going to tell Jimmy Butler, who's making $50 million in the next 2-3 years, and he's making more than me, and I'm not even making that? Like, you think like, can I really tell him, yo, what are you doing? Listen to me. You know what I mean? It's like, what do you think about that? Because I know you coached a lot of stars, been pros, and I know you had to deal with ego, and I know, you know, you get to the point at times where, you know, you just got that big time athlete on your team that they're just gonna wake up when they wake up. You know what I mean? Like, how do you approach that, especially from the summer basketball too, on that side of the house too? This is summer ball, so. But I saw a lot of teams you coached, and you had some chemistry on a lot of teams, and that's hard to do with coach. All you see is one-on-one and stuff like that. So, what do you think, from your perspective of coaching, how that work out for you? What thoughts went through your mind? Like, how did you approach that?
The only thing that the coaches could do, right? Because the players are bigger than the coach, bro. The coach ain't bigger than the players. Right. You understand? Ever. It don't matter who the coach is. The coaches aren't bigger than the players. So as long as the players mess with what you trying to, what your message, you good. Like, if they see that you know what you're talking about, and they can agree with you more than they disagree with you, they buy in. But if you stand out there and you're not showing these people that you brought together, that you know how to make sense out of this game, it's like then they're gonna look at you like you crazy. Oh, this dude don't know what he's doing. He just put a bunch of dudes together and wants us to win a basketball game, not knowing how to pace certain things and certain players. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you coach, you can't just put players together and think you're gonna win because you got the best 5 players. It doesn't work.
That happen a lot.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Like, but the players gotta actually understand that, you know what? I messed with what he's saying. He right. He know his stuff. I bet. I mess with him. Let's go. And that's basically what it is in the NBA, bro. In the NBA, the players gotta buy into what you selling them. Like, yo, listen, let's do it this way. And boom, look at D'Antoni. He made James Harden a point guard. Nobody would have ever done that, and James Harden loved it. I get the ball in my hand even more. I get to bring it up and create, and everybody said it was bugging, and he led the league in assists, I think, one year. Like, come on, son. Like, you know what I mean? So as long as the players are willing to buy into what you're saying and they mess with it, then you're all right.
Facts.
But if not, the players are going to look at you like, yo, this dude don't know what he's talking about. And they're going to go out there and do what they do anyway. So it really don't matter. You know what I'm saying? But if they, it's a certain level of respect, and you get that from them, you good. If you can't get that from them, you just going to be screaming and yelling a bunch of nothing, running up and down the court, arguing with referees, screaming, and just being emotional like they do uptown, like that dude does. Like, he spoke bad on me. But what he did was he said everything that they say about him, word for word. Like, I'm not going to say his name, but he said word for word everything they say about him and what he does. Because every summer he puts together a bunch of people that don't even know each other. And he wants to see if he could win like that somehow. He tries to get some Spanish dudes. He tries to get athletic black dudes and think that's a recipe for a championship. Every year I came back with the same core. I might have changed 1 or 2 things, but I came back with my same players, bro. So for a fool to stand up on a platform and say, oh, people say Drew ain't a good coach. No, they say you ain't a good coach. And for him to sit down and say, oh, he takes a bunch of players that nobody wants and he makes a gumbo. And then he mentioned Kenny Satterfield. He said he had the nation's leading scorer, Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr.
He had Steve Kerr from the NBA?
No, he said that I did. Then he said, oh, no, I mean Kiki that went to he didn't even know what college Kiki went to, bro. Bozo. Then he said Dave Holmes, Jay Johnson, Bobby Santiago. Then he said Mousy from Manhattan College. You mean Muggsy Bozo? Like, you're a bozo, man. Like, you're a real bozo. Because and then when he was like, yo, if we get together, it'll be crazy. Why? Because you don't know how to coach. So you wanted somebody that you knew knows how to coach. I'm not the best, but I know what I'm doing. That's it. That's it. I'm not better than nobody, bro. And what I do, I just get results. And I was 1 game away from a chip coaching Dominican Power when Kimber came with Brandon Jennings and James Feldine had 50. I was coaching that game with Gauchos. You know what I'm saying? Another game in the playoffs where I brought a team. Kenny Sat suited up Dominican Power because of me. He did me the favor. Kenny Sat didn't even want to play, bro. He's like, yo, I mess with him. He's cool. He's the homie. But I you know what I mean? Come on. I was like, yo, come on. You know what I mean? Riverside, yo, can we put up a few players? What? I brought you, Sat, Fab, Happy Feet wound up messing with us, took the chip. Like, and then you're gonna sit back and say that people say Drew ain't a good coach. He puts players together. That no, brother, they say you ain't a good coach. I coach in every division in that tournament. And in every division, I won. I have 5 championships in that park. The only one I lost is the one they stole from me when they cheated and stole the ball and everybody jumped on the court and they didn't stop the play. He got fouled anyway and they don't call a foul. So don't say
you got this shit.
Because I'm not saying his name, but this episode I'm putting out because I had to address this, bro. You know, And then after he did it, I put up a couple of posts that he knew was directed to him. And what he do now, every time I post something, he likes it, he reposts it. When I have an interview coming up, he reposts it. Like, bro, you shitted on me, bro. Like, you completely dissed me. You know what I'm saying? There's no way that you dissed me, and you dissed any player that ever suited up for me by calling all of these players people that nobody wanted.
There's legends on that team.
Legends. So don't sit back and be like, oh, I meant it in a good way. Brother, if you don't know how to talk, text. You should have had a text interview. You should have just text through the live. Don't play with me, man. Don't play with me. I'm not going to say his name because I'm not giving him a wave on my platform, bro. But to be real with you, all of the stuff that I was doing with the interviews and all that stuff and the brackets and all that, and even up to this point, I expected to get to this point from it. It was going to be with that clown. Because me and his chemistry is cool because he don't know what he's talking about and we'll always disagree. But it's like, that's that. And again, he's my man. We don't have a beef because I would never have beef with someone I've known 30 years. Like, I've known him 30 years. We are cool. We from the sandbox. We came up together. But he took it upon himself to go on a public platform and diss me. And I'm like, yo, son, I'm not even over here bothering anybody. I'm not the way I used to be. If I was that way, I can understand. I'm not even bothering nobody for you to come out here and try to make conversation off of putting me down. Like, bro, ain't nobody ever said what he said, that I can't coach. He can't coach. That I put together a bunch of players that nobody wants makes a gumbo. I'm not saying his players are players that nobody wants because he be having good players, but none of them know each other. None of them have chemistry with each other. Everybody comes out, has individual good games, but it never amounts to anything. They're never a threat for a championship. So you need to shut up when you don't know what you're talking about, because in the basketball stuff, like I said, I'm not here a dude that's done it for 100 million years and won every tournament. But where I rested the most in Dyckman, I won. When I had those 16 and under, 17 and under, Xavier, Gio, Cliff, Scotty, and them, I won all over the city. I went on a tear one summer. Rumble in the Bronx, Youth on the Rise, UDC, Black Butter, everything. We took everything, bro. He never put in that pain that I put in with kids. He does stuff for likes, so people could think he's doing things, right? I was doing it off camera. Summer after summer after summer, traveling everywhere with these kids on my dollar. Never asked Kenny or nobody from Dyckman, not even for gas money, bro. I was driving these Dyckman kids all around the city, and we was competing and we was winning. Like, he can't say he did any of that, bro. Everything he does, he did a little fake book bag giveaway. He said that he organized. He was just standing there with police, because if they were your book bags, they would have had your logo on them. You never give none of your stuff away to the kids. No, you sell everything to the public. You don't give nothing back. So don't sit here and front and talk bad about somebody that's over here minding their business, because you putting together book bag giveaways. Why none of them was your personal? Why none of them said your brand on them? And you were standing out there with 1 million cops. It was a police book bag giveaway, which is cool. The cops are giving back to the community, whatever. Don't attach yourself to it and say that you organized it or that it's yours, because if it's yours, then your brand will be out there and your brand will be given back to the kids. I never seen his brand give away back to the kids, and not his business partner. His business partner is different. His business partner does things like that. I'm talking about him.
Right.
That dude. Not the dude that he's linked up with. It just got nothing to do with that dude. I'm talking about him. Never did a hat giveaway, never did a t-shirt giveaway, never did a book bag giveaway for the kids with his brand on it, but he'll put a price tag on it. My man wanted a Dyckman hat. He told my man over the phone, give me $50 for it. And the dude, they weren't even his hats. They weren't his hats. There was my other man's hats, and my other man was selling them for $30.
So you're trying to make it a quick dub?
$50 for a hat, bro? How, like, come on, stop it. Like, come on. So don't sit up here and say you're doing stuff that I did, bro. I put on for the kids. You can ask Ken Stevens. You know what I mean? Summer after summer after summer out there with them kids, traveling to Lower East Side, traveling to Brooklyn, traveling to Queens, traveling to the Bronx. That was me, bro. I loved it, and I loved what I got from my guys. Them kids won me championships. They got the experience. We shared that together. Now, a few of them are pros. A few of them are working, and they're still my guys till this day, bro. Like, I can call any of those kids that I coached right now.
Facts, yeah.
And it's love. It's like, well, yo, what up, coach? What up, big bro? Period. Like, my man X just went away. He's over in Germany. Like, he's at a high league now. He's about to get it. Me and him speak every other day. Like, tell me which one of his basketball players he has that relationship with. I coached you in 2002, and we knew each other before then. And me and you still look where we at. Tell me one of his players he could do this with.
No.
Come on, I started interviewing dudes. I started interviewing dudes that I know, that I coached, and they all showed me love. They all said yes. Kenny Sack, Kiki, you, Rick, Dave Holmes. Everybody. Why? Why he can't have those why he don't have those relationships with dudes? Because he's a fraud, bro. So don't sit up here and talk about then he had the audacity to say that he's a top 5 street ball coach. Top 5 street ball coach.
He don't got chips.
I said, wow. He won Kingdom. All right, but he wasn't coaching. Bacachá and them was in their prime. They was killers. Shout out to them, Lou Flores, all of them. They was killers. Luis Cesar, or they was killers. They the Greer brothers. They did that. That the whole kingdom started throwing bottles and all that. He was standing with them. You weren't the head coach of Dominican Power. So like stop, bro. Stop it, man. Just stop it, bro. Because with me, I know too much, and I'm not here doing exposure, nothing. You talked about me. We talking about basketball. Lucky is only about basketball, bro. But don't sit up here and try to make conversation off of dissing me, man. I let it slide for too long. He could hold that. He could hold that today.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of teams up in that specific tournament where he coached Dyckman, and a lot of stacked teams. But I gotta say, he had a few teams that was stacked, and I always wondered why they didn't win. It was never no chemistry. And and honestly, that chip game that year where Sat stole the ball and the whole crowd was on the court. That shouldn't have had that game shouldn't have even been close, because they were off that game. You know what I mean? I think the crowd, and I think with the cheating they did behind the scenes, I think that helped them a lot, obviously. But when we got that still, man, I remember like it was yesterday. It was kids 3 feet away. Like they Sat could have ran past the kids and laid the ball up, but he hesitated, which brought that whole defense in, and Francisco blocked it.
You on the court, bro? Come on, stop it. Then Cisco fouled him, and the ref told me I couldn't call that. They would have killed me. I wanted to kill him.
He kept it real though. He kept it real, but he said, "Yo, Drew, I'm trying to live."
I was like, "Yo, that's whack." But I take it. It is what it is. But I got 5 other ones, bro. I even got ones with 13 and under. Like, show me what you doing for these kids, bro. Stop it.
Thanks, bro. You know what I mean? Inspire. That's all we can do, man. Inspire the youth, and that's where our future is. That's where our kids' future is. You know what I mean? Like, anything we can do for the kids, that's where it's at, man. That's where the investment is at. Invest into the kids, man.
Just don't play with me, man, because I'm not doing nothing. I'm not bothering nobody. I'm over here working on something, and you over here worrying about being popular, bro. Like, I don't care about none of that shit. Like, stop it. Like, I'm not out here making my life seem like it's something that it isn't. Every minute I get, every chance I get. I'm very private now with my kids, with my wife, with my family. I don't post none of that, bro. I posted happy birthday to my wife the other day. That's it. I've never posted a picture of my son on social media. Like, I'm not out here posting sneakers and vacation getaway places that I wish I could go to. And all these exotic food dishes. Like, come on, son. Like, I'm not doing none of that. I'm all the way out the way. I'm over here talking basketball to people, interviewing people so that these kids could see what these other guys like you and everybody else went through, and so people could appreciate what you guys went through. And you over here talking about me. You over here talking about me, bro. Like, you over here talking about me for no reason. Like, come on, son. I ain't jacking that. Like I said, I left it alone. I stayed quiet long enough. I had to get that off. This episode, I'm airing it out. So it is. But you know, what's the word?
Talk about it, bro.
Yo, Bob, talk to me, man. This cyber schooling is getting tough, bro. Today, I had a meltdown. I ain't even gonna lie to you, son. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I had a meltdown, and then my wife walked out of the room with a headache, bro. Like, it got us today, bro. It got us. Yo, the teacher talks and sounds like it up.
Oh, that's the worst, man. You dealing with connectivity issues,
fam, and you trying to understand it. And then it says it starts buffering, like, oh man. And then she tells all the kids, unmute yourself. When you get the answer, shout it out. Bro, she forgot to tell them to stop. They was, I'm like, all right, this is different. This is very different. Then she'll talk and she won't even realize that she's muted, and give like half of a lesson, and everybody on the computer is waving at the same time. Everybody's trying to wave her down, and we can't hear you. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. And she's going in and giving the lesson good money, and then she'll come back. She'll be like, "Oh, were you muted?" Oh man, it's tough.
Yeah, it's tough, bro. Yeah, it's tough. My son did the remote when COVID hit in March or February, whatever it was, and it was tough, man. I caught myself a few times where, yo, you just gotta understand. Look at the circumstances we under, and you gotta be a little bit more patient. But that right there is just stupidity, just not being aware. Like, come on, man. How long they been going? How long they been having this remote learning? And she's still having that problem. Principals need to
built for it, bro. It's too many people online at the same time. That's why they're allowing these 5G towers on top of schools. They knew that this was coming. So they put up all these 5G towers so that everybody can have a stronger internet, so that everybody could learn from home. Now, my thing is, I'm lucky. Last year when COVID hit, that they sent everybody home, my daughter didn't have to do remote learning because she was only in kindergarten. You know what I mean? So now she's in first grade. That's basic regular work. But I personally know parents that can't do the work that the kids are getting. Not in kindergarten. They got older kids, but they can't get the work. Like, their kid is looking at them like, yo, help me with this. And they're like, Google it. Like, what do you mean? Son?
Wait, elaborate. Like, what grades?
Fifth grade.
You're talking about like 11th grade algebra. I can see a parent not knowing that shit.
No, listen, high school math, I'm not even mad at anybody. I'm not mad at anybody because that's different. That's different.
It's your Monday. I don't know.
Adding and numbers different, bro. I ain't
my varsity coach was my math teacher.
Bro, anything in elementary school that you struggling through, bro, shame on you, man. Like, I see it like this. I've always said, I just became a parent for the first time ever in my life. But I've always said, if a child gets left back in elementary school from K to 5,
parents' fault.
That's on the parent.
Facts.
That's on the parent. Unless the kid came from another country and didn't speak the language and was adjusting, I could make them repeat a grade or two or whatever because they didn't speak the language. I get it. But these parents that don't pay attention, you feel me? Like, they expect the teachers to be the sole object of education for their children, and they don't think that they got to open a book with their kid and look at the work with them because the teachers are supposed to do that. There's a lot of people that are like that, bro. those you're failing your kids, yo. Like you ask them, yo, do you check your kids' homework? This is how they check their homework. Yo, you did your homework? Yeah, I checked it. But how? You know what I'm saying? Then when you look and they ask your kid, when's your birthday? And the kid says bacon. Then you type. You know what I'm saying? Your kid is like 8. They'd be like, hey, what's your name? He'd be like, bacon. What? What?
Yeah.
What? Yo. What's your name? What's your birthday? Bacon, October 11th. No, these aren't real dates. Like, no.
Yo, that's crazy, bro. Fact, yo.
No, it's for real, Bob.
Nah, yeah, you're 100% right, man. 100%.
Yeah, they'll get a paper. The teacher will say, write your name, and they'll write your name, like YOURNAME. Like, what? No. And you gotta be on your kid. Like, too many parents are being lazy, bro, with their kids, man. Like these tablets are babysitters, PlayStations are babysitters. Parents ain't taking their kids out anymore and playing catch or throwing the football. I understand right now it's COVID, but parents are finding time to go eat at little eateries, and they're doing sidewalk dining, and they're doing after work drinking, social distancing. But then you can't take your kid to the park and play catch. You rather leave them on a tablet all day, being a vegetable. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, man, yeah, facts. Yo, man, technology taking over, and these parents are comfortable with it. That's a problem. That's
technology it's a gift and a curse. You know what I mean? Because I remember I'm old, bro. So when I was in 6th grade, was in the 80s. And if you had a computer in your classroom, you was considered like, okay, you're all right. You know what I mean? Now, come on, they're giving kids tablets. They're giving kids tablets, bro. Like, you was lucky to have a computer class in my public school, 152. You had Mr. Hoppin, only computer teacher. You was working with floppy disks, pause. And it was just a whole different type of thing, bro. You hit run and enter and stuff like that. So now where kids will grab a tablet. My daughter is 6, and she taught my moms how to make her own emoji. She taught her how to flip around her camera. She taught her how to FaceTime. Like these kids know too much.
Nigga, fucking in high school, you gotta bring your own Mac. In my nephew's high school, they don't do notebooks. Every class,
laptop with you.
Every kid has to have a laptop,
and they don't get books. They work off laptops all day.
Right, off laptops and whatever teacher's teaching.
No book.
All the assignments through email. They've been on the COVID blended
books
process. Yeah, no, they've been like that's how that for the last 5 years. My nephew's high school stepping at.
So you bring a laptop, and that's all your books. You don't got to bring no books.
But it depends. Like there's I'm sure there's certain classes that go off a hard workbook, but there's other classes that maybe they just get they get the activities through online. They post them online and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like it's another story over there. I asked my brother. I said, "Yo, so what about if you don't got money for a laptop?" He's like, "You ain't going to school." And they, like, yo, they don't help you get a laptop. Like, yo, that's crazy. I mean, huh?
If your kid is in Stepping Act, you have money for a laptop.
But I'm thinking about the athletes that get that little sponsorship money, and the athletes that come from Harlem, the basketball players.
How much?
Huh?
How much is tuition at Stepping Act?
Shit, probably about 50K a year.
You understand what I'm saying? So if your kid is in that school without any financial help, you have money for a laptop. Right or wrong?
No, you facts. And I know if you're an athlete going in there poor, they're gonna get you one anyway because you're an athlete.
Yeah, you don't pay for nothing.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, man, it's crazy. Yo, time is changing, bro.
Yeah, it is. Technology is quick, it's fast, bro.
that shit's sad. You know what I mean? In a good way, I say. And the reason why I say in a good way is because like we getting older, but we kind of feel some kind of way because it's not the same like when how we did it. You know what I mean? It's change, and nobody really likes change, so we got to adjust to just all this technology and how shit is being processed these days. My son, this COVID situation, he goes to school, and at first he was doing at home, but you got to know your child, man, and it's a very, 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 very fucking, you playing with fire. It's very sensitive, and my kid, I know, in front of a laptop, it doesn't register. He's just not that kid. He needs a teacher in front of him.
Okay.
My kid also is not the kid that's gonna play with his hands and be like, "Yo, let me see your mask." My son Sebastian, you know him. Well, he's himself. Play, crazy. Anyway, it sucks that I gotta rely on that, but I just want the best education for my kid. I want him to be in front of the teacher, and if that's what's gonna help him, understand and get educated, the way it's supposed to be for him, then just leave it at that. But yeah, man, it's tough, man. You gotta know your kid, man. It's many times I go upstairs and he'd be on a computer, he'd be working, and I go upstairs. This little nigga will be having toys in his hand. I'm like, yo, what you doing? He'd be like,
you got to take that out of his room.
Yeah, so I had to start bringing my laptop up to his room and kind of work there while he's next to me, and it worked well. But yeah, man, you'd be surprised. Kids surprise you too, man. You be thinking they're not that smart, and they surprise you a lot. They're smarter than what we think, man.
Bro, I took my daughter before her first day of school. I took her table out of her room. I made her workstation in my son's room, where there's nothing even the slightest bit appealing to her. You know what I mean? So they can distract her in that room, bro, at all. And I sit next to her. Either me or my wife is right there next to her. Like, okay, so what's the answer? Look, let's do it. Let's get to it, because we're not doing this. Because obviously, I think being in front of a teacher is a better learning experience for a child. But the first week of in my daughter's school, a staff member had COVID. The third week in school, a child had COVID. Last week, another case of COVID in her school. You know what I mean? And the year's not even halfway done. We just getting started. Everybody's not still locked in because of the cold weather. When everybody starts locking in because of cold weather and there's actually going to be groups in places, that's when the COVID's going to spread like crazy, bro. You know what I mean? Because when it's winter time, nobody's going anywhere. And wherever you go, there's going to be a lot of people there. So even if you can have 40 people, wherever you go, there's going to be 40 people. So, I'm just trying to stay away from the groups as much as I can. There's already been 3 cases of COVID in my daughter's school in 2 months. Like, I'm not jacking. I can't do it. I would love to send her to school, because I think with this remote learning thing, what it takes away the most from a child is how to socialize and how to behave in public places, how to behave in a classroom, how to behave around other kids and not be distracted, how to behave. You know what I'm saying? Like, it takes a lot away from the children. 100%. But I'm willing to risk the socializing aspect of school for my daughter right now than her health, because she's only in first grade.
Oh, facts, yeah. Facts. My son is in 5th grade.
You know what I mean? She's only in first grade. She hasn't been going to school for years. This is
that's a good point.
This is her first real year of school. So if she comes up in a network age that this is the new norm, then going to class is going to be something different. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to be honest with you, bro. Out here in this little town where I'm at, if the COVID cases keep adding up, how am I even going to think of sending my daughter to school? There's already been 3 cases in 2 months.
Facts, bro. As soon as somebody gets COVID in my son's school, I'm pulling them out right away, regardless. And I shouldn't wait for that. But again, everyone's different, and I'm just.
Everybody's situation for what they're doing is different, because okay, you're working from home, But if you got a shitload of work, it's going to be hard for you to be on top of your son and your job at the same time. I get it. If your wife is working from home and you're working from home, it's a different story. You know what I mean? But it's tough for a lot of people. A lot of people don't have the option of sending their kid or keeping their kid home. They have to go to work. If they don't go to work, like single moms and single dads and stuff like that, that they have no options but to send their kids to school and pray that nothing happens to their kids. That's different. You know what I mean? I just see it as I can make the sacrifice to do these classes with her. Stay home. I got a 10-month-old baby in the house. Nah, stay home. Like, I know people that have multiple children and they keep the younger kids home and let the older ones go to school. You know, because you can expect your older kids to be more responsible.
Facts,
and wear a mask and keep a distance and do what they're supposed to do. A kid in kindergarten, first grade, third grade, second grade, they're not keeping a mask on all day, bro. It's gonna be, it's gonna be too much. So yeah, I know you know what I mean? I know my daughter. My daughter loves to raise her hand and answer everything, and she loves to talk and interact with the teachers and all that. Her personality is crazy. So it's like, she has a really, really, really bright personality. You know what I mean? She loves to talk. So I can't put her in that situation right now.
Facts, bro. That's all facts, man. You say 100% facts. But yo, bro, we got 4 minutes left, and I wanted to ask you before this session ends. I wanted to ask you this question. I want to throw it back to the NBA, and I wanted to ask you. There was a comment Scottie Pippen mentioned, statement that he said the other day, where he pretty much was commenting on the league playing in the bubble and how all these athletes are coming out talking, oh, I'm going crazy. I don't get to see my family for press, this and that. And he pretty much said, hey, it's not the grind. It's not them traveling from city to city. I think he was kind of like throwing shots at LeBron. He goes, it's not the grind traveling from city to city. So I don't know what they're complaining about. At the end of the day, it's pickup ball. So he was trying to say that the level of competition, even though you got that little bit of level of competition, but a lot more comes with the level of competition, like the traveling. It hits your mental. Sometimes you're going from, you playing a series of 7. You're going back and forth from city to city, and then after, if you qualify to the next round, you got to adjust to the next city. You know what I mean? So what do you think about that? And the statement that he mentioned in regards to, it being easy, in other words, for these players because they're in the bubble.
Listen, bro. A lot of my friends play overseas basketball. That's a sacrifice. You in another country for 9 months. These dudes that complain about being in different cities or in a bubble for a couple of weeks, you're bugging. Dudes
in their country.
In some of them in their state where they live with their family. So, bro, I can't jack it because you got these kids like my man Manny Casada. He was playing in Angola, Africa, bro. He can't just call his moms or his brother or his girl, yo, come through. It's a process to get to Africa. Edgar Sosa, James Feldine, my man Xavier Pollard, Cliff Kaliman. These people are playing all over the world, bro, and they out there for 9 months, some 10 months. If they in the playoffs and all that, like, you 10 months away from home, Bob. You come home, you got 60 days to spend with your wife and your kids and your family before you got to leave to make that money all over again. Come on. Nobody can complain about the bubble. You can't complain about traveling in an NBA schedule. I don't care how many times you got to sleep in hotels. I don't care how many cities you in a month. Bro, you're in the United States of America, bro. You could get a hamburger at 2 a.m, wherever you at. You don't got to worry about being in some of these third world countries where violence is crazy and people are blowing stuff up. A lot of people play in the Middle East. You know what I'm saying? Where we already know what's up out there. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, nah, I can't sympathize with these pros that are, I get it. they miss their families, they miss their children, they miss their wives. That's cool. But you know that the end of the road is right there. These dudes that go overseas, bro, they're out there 9, 10 months with some of them can't come home for Christmas.
That's yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, man, yeah.
In 2-month intervals. They're home for 2 months, they see their kids, they leave. When they come back, it's a whole year later. They see their kid for 2 months, they leave. These dudes are complaining about traveling and playing in a bubble, bro. I can understand it's something you got to get used to, and I can understand that it takes a mental toll on anybody because it will, but it's nowhere near the worst because all of them NBA dudes could have been overseas and it would have been real. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, NBA, bro, getting top dollar, bro. From the first player to the 12th player, everybody's rich. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. You put that shit in perspective just now. I thought about it. That home for 2 months and away for not. It's a year later. You seen your kid grow without you came with.
Bro.
Sad.
Bro, you kidding me, man? Like Rick Apodaca, Kenny Satt. Remember, Kenny Satt was all over the world. He was even in China and Japan at one point. He used to FaceTime me. It was like 4 a.m. here. Or some wild, you know what I mean? Some weird. He's like, yo, nah, I'm just homesick. Mo, what's good? Like, you know, and he had kids. He's away. His daughter's growing. His sons are growing. And he's in another part of the world. Like that. That's tough. Not no bubble and not no tough NBA traveling schedule. I'm not saying that any of them are easy, but the easiest of the three, the hardest of the three is that overseas life, bro. You know what I mean? Like over here, these dudes can have a bad game and call somebody and, you know, yo, come through, let's chop it up. Who you calling if you're on a different time schedule? Like my man, they're like 6 or 7 hours ahead. Like it's totally different over there. Like,
where's X at now?
X is in Germany. He about to get it, bro. That kid was averaging like 28, 27 his first 2 years as a pro. Because he started off at Maine, then he transferred to Kent State, but he got hurt at Kent State. And but he ain't let that do nothing. That kid is Bob. I've been with him since a baby, Bob. That kid's motor is different, man. Like he's determined, and I'm happy for him, bro. I'm happy for him. He's on his way because he's a bucket. He's a bucket. He's tough. But yeah, bro, these dudes that are overseas for all this time, they're seeing family for a little bit, man. 60 days. 60 days.
It's tough, bro.
Yeah, it is. But I just hope that whatever the normal is going to be, because we don't know. Everybody's like, oh, when it's normal again. How about if this is what normal is? How about if how we used to live before is no more? How about that? Nobody's thinking about it.
I already think that. Like I honestly think that I think school is gonna I think school everything is gonna change. I think it's gonna stay the way it's going on like right now.
Bro, for how many years have they been wearing masks and gloves in China?
Years. They used to bring that shit over here on the train stations. You used to see at least out of every 5 Chinese people you see in fucking trains, they got a mask on or they got some gloves on.
Bro, if this is the new normal, that's what nobody's thinking about. Everybody like, oh, when it's normal again. I'm not thinking like that. I'm just taking precaution with my family.
Listen, I'm optimistic in a lot of ways. You know, I try to be at least optimistic. And the way I look at it like this, bro, if we got to live the rest of our lives with a mask, hey, man, any way to kind of cut down on germs, why not? You know what I mean? I'm not going to wear – if we don't have to wear a mask, I'm not wearing a mask. But why not, though? You know what I mean?
When would you be willing to believe that it's safe not to wear a mask, bro? It's a virus. So you waiting for the public. You're just waiting for them to tell us, hey, and by the way, in 2021, we don't have to wear a mask anymore. And everybody's gonna be like, oh, good. I hated these shits. Why is it okay not to wear a mask anymore? How are you gonna tell me that you finished the coronavirus? Like,
I'm like, how they gonna find it? It could be on the counter. It could be there. Like, how?
So you're gonna just tell me it up and walked away, bro. It up and walked away. The corona said, you know what, I've taken enough. I'm leaving.
That's exactly how I thought about it, bro. I'm like, yo, this shit. That's why we're gonna live the way we are right now. And like this is over.
I don't know, man. I mean, socially, it's gonna be tough, but I just want my kids to be healthy, bro. Like I'm good, man. I want my son to experience joy. I want my daughter to be happy, but if it's gonna be in a new way, it's not gonna be different to them. As long as it's not different to them. See, your son and kids that are older are gonna feel it way more than kids like my daughter and my son, because my daughter's already trained that you gotta wear a mask. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's little kids that are coming up now is different. This is gonna be normal to them because this is what it is. But for the older kids, it's like, damn, what is this? You know, you have people now. I was in Target today. I got gloves on and a mask. And you see people with masks on and their children sitting in the cart with no mask. Little kids. Like, you got your kid on a germ-infested cart with no mask on, but you have a mask on? Like, if you have to wear a mask, don't you think that your kid should have to wear one? And if you don't have one for them, you got to chill out.
Responsibility, bro. They don't want to deal with the the kid's gonna end up they don't want to deal with that interaction with their kid, taking it off on. Yeah, you got a parent, though. You got a parent. You got to be there. You got to make sure they keep. My 2-year-old, my daughter, she understands, but it took me a while. You know what I mean? But now she understands. She see everybody else. So if that's working for her, and she sees that, hey, let's move on. Let's keep it on and keep. You know what I mean? It is. Or if you know what else I do, I pick her up if she don't want to wear her mask, and I keep her close to me. That's the best I could do because she's gonna fight me sometimes. But
but that's what it is, man. You take steps. You know what I mean?
Facts.
That's all we can do, bro. Bob, this was coming out tonight. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Yo, I appreciate you. We'll be back real soon with the next episode of What's the Word. It's your boy Dyckman Drew.
Bob, aka we getting the fuck out of here.
You already know.